Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast, where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. Today, we're excited to bring to you a very special conversation. We're talking about the new three companies that have come together to change the way pool equipment works on that pad. You know, for decades, pool pros have been stuck with vendor lock-in, limited options, and systems that don't always play nice. The new three is going to flip that script. They're built on core values, driven by real innovation behind the scenes, already scaling into thousands of new pools, and more importantly, they stand for freedom of choice for the pool pros and builders. Before we do that, I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we do that, let's thank our visionary partners for this podcast, SPPA, Blu-ray Excel, Aquastar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Heritage Pool Supply, Hayward Pool Products, Poolside Tech, Pool Brain, and Nidec. We want to thank them for their continued support. John, good morning. It's weird because our boy Zacharias just finished recording Naked and Afraid yesterday. He came out of the woods.
He did.
And so I got to throw the first good morning over to you.
I know. I got to give you a little round of applause.
Why is that?
For the intro. I mean, look, custom intro today, everybody that's listening. I'm sure you guys noticed. And for you to be able to, I think you nailed it like 99%.
Yeah, I had one or two that I noticed there, but I don't think anybody else noticed
it. I definitely expected you to fumble it more, but you nailed it. It only took you 5.5 years to get our other intro down.
I was worried because I'm sitting next to you and now you could just push me. So I was kind of like, I better get this or I'm going off this chair.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. This is like a continuance. We've had this conversation, I think it was probably about 2 years ago. This whole movement started with the new three, and it's been quite amazing to watch and see the impact that it's had on the industry, including ourselves being service providers, and the difference that this concept and this new way of thinking has opened our eyes to different possibilities when we're looking at a backyard and what our options are for the clients that we serve. And talking today, going a little bit deeper about that journey, how it started, where we're at now, and then where we see this down the road, I think is going to be a great talk to have. So I want to thank everybody taking the time to come out today to have this conversation. I think it's a very important conversation. Edgar, I don't know, this is a little weird having you sit next to me.
I'm looking at the video and I'm like, I can't look at you because people are going to be like, I wish that my wife looked at me like the way Edgar looks at. So I'm like, I'm trying to avoid, but then I look in the other direction and it looks like I'm ignoring you. Yeah. I don't know what the hell to do.
But just remember, we talked about boundaries and physical boundaries. So we just got to make sure we stick to that.
Yeah, don't try to grab my knee under the table like you normally do.
Yeah,
you
for
just
sure.
kind of, we're with a room full of people here.
Yeah.
Justin, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Good. We're excited to have you. First time. Can you guys believe it's his first time in the studio after all these years?
I know.
I was starting to take it personal.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. Let's see how well Justin performs.
No, Justin performs.
Right? Because if anybody knows Justin, he's a big ball of energy. He loves what he does, and he's literally Edgar for Raypak
2.0.
2.0.
He's a little bit. His energy is a little bit higher than mine.
So being in the same room with both of them at the same time, it's a little overwhelming. So having both of you on the podcast right now, I want to see how in this environment, how you...
You know what, Justin? We'll eventually flip him over just because he's the, quiet, kind of one like that. Yeah, Bob, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
It is good to be back and different side of the table this time. So that's
changing things up.
Yeah, a little weird for us too.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's totally
It doesn't
weird.
look right.
Yeah, I feel off. Something's not right. So
we have Todd in your spot. I don't know.
yeah, Todd, maybe we should switch in the middle of and you can and I'll just pretend to be Todd.
Nope, I like it here.
You like
So
it?
you are better on the eyes, though, looking across the table at the top. That's for sure.
Todd, how you doing?
Awesome. I'm really excited to be here and really excited to talk about what is the most innovative pad offered today. So we are fired up, happy to be here with my buddies and ready to go.
All right. Hey, big shout out to Mama, which is sitting in the boo chair. Can we get a boo? See, you sat on there, you played on your phone, and you didn't make sure that your mic was working. So, and we also have Ben in house. Big shout out to our boy Ben back there. Welcome. Hello. See, he yelled. He's like, hello. Anyways, guys, let's get through some things here really quick. Hey, we have the PSB Expo coming up over here in a couple weeks. We're down to what, like 30 days, 29 days, something like that. It's right around the corner. We do have the 10,000 Pool Pro Challenge that's going to be happening on the 22nd in our booth. So come out to that. If you registered for that, get ready to compete because it's going to be a fun 2 days. So first day will be on the 22nd. Finals will be on that Friday. In the middle of that, we have the Pool Nation Awards, which are going to be happening on October 23rd. So if you have not registered, you better because space is limited and we're getting there already. We're 30 days out. We're getting close once again. So if you have not voted, get out there and vote. October 1st is your last day to be able to get out there and vote. And by the way, there's a lot of people voting out there this year. There's a lot of people getting out there to vote. So that's excited about that. Guys, I'm ready to get this party started. So we met yesterday, had a great time talking about the new 3, what it stands for, what are you guys trying to do? It really lines up with everything that we want to talk about, right? The innovation, how you want to change the industry, how the industry has been stuck for the last billion years in that same mentality and in that same thought process. And here comes 3 companies, John, that are focused on innovation, focused on quality. There was a lot of conversation yesterday from the new 3 that were basically saying, look, we just want to be able to compete. And if our product is not good enough, we want you to fire us. Like, that's how confident we are that our product is next level. And they are making huge changes. A lot of the pool pros are seeing it. I think a lot of the industry is seeing it. So I'm really excited to do a deep dive.
Yeah. You nailed it. I don't think a billion years, but it's been quite some time, right?
Since the beginning of time.
Since the beginning of time. But we've been stuck in a rut as an industry for a long time. And I guess the word that comes to mind or that I feel is most appropriate is we become complacent and we're just good enough is good enough. And that's not the mentality that I think any industry or any business or anybody striving to do better should have. And innovation is very important. And for a while, I think we've lacked that for decades. And to have new companies come in like Aquastar, Raypak, Pool Attendant, multiple new companies that are getting into our industry that are trying to drive innovation so that we can better what we have out there, I think is all positive. Competition is good. So talking a little bit about it today, I think is going to be a nice little refresher for some of the people out there that don't know exactly what we're talking about.
Absolutely. So let's dive in, no pun intended. So let's talk about the new 3, right? What is the new 3? And let's just start with that one. People probably are hearing the term, right? They don't know what it is. What exactly is the new 3?
Yeah. So the new 3 really is the movement. The 3 manufacturers, Aquastar, Poolside Tech, and Raypak. We believe in a freedom of choice when it comes to the pool pad. And we really believe that innovation should be on the forefront, right? That should be leading when it comes to choice. And so we've all really gone deep into wanting to be category experts and really drive change within the industry to free up the way that the industry has been for quite some time now.
I think, and to add to that, we really wanted to make it simple for the pool pro that if they wanted to go down this route, it's easy to configure. You don't have to jump through a lot of hoops. And on top of that, you're going to get a best-in-class solution because all 3 of these things, we've spent a ton of time making them work together really well. So it's not like you have 3 separate companies with 3 separate interests. You have 3 companies that work very closely together on an almost everyday basis, constantly analyzing the new opportunities where we're very lucky to be installed in, right? And constantly trying to make sure it's easier for the pool guy, whatever we can do, right? Or anything we can do to the products or enhance the software to make sure whether you're servicing or you're building, it's much, much better than anything you could buy in the market today.
Yeah, and going beyond the customer experience with the pool professional and with the builder, our common goal is to get the end user the best product that they can possibly get. And that starts with safety, and it moves into efficiencies. And then obviously the quality of product as well. And I think when you nail all three of those things, we've done a very good job, but we continue to push forward. And to this point, we've nailed it, but we will continue to innovate and elevate our products. But when you get those three core qualities in line on the manufacturing side, and then you focus on the experience of the professional and the homeowner, I believe it's a home run. And with that, we give an offering to the industry that is second to none.
I want to jump on what you were saying, Bob, and I think we got to take a second and really think about this. This is something that's really different and new and a completely different concept. 3 different companies that are coming together for one common purpose or goal, and understanding that, yeah, though you might not be making competing products at this moment, right, when you think about it, I truly believe even if you did, you guys would still come up with it, right? This would still be a mission or a focus to it. But to have 3 separate companies come together and say, hey, look, we see a deficiency, we see an issue or an opportunity in this industry to where we can help make it better. Let's join forces instead of pulling away from each other or selecting our teams and then going to our corner and trying to figure it out from there. I congratulate you guys for doing that. And it's definitely not easy in an environment like ours in this industry or any industry, really. It's tough to do, right? And you're really putting your neck out there when you're going up against some of the biggest names or billion-dollar companies that have been doing it a certain way for so long. And you guys come together saying, hey, look, there's a better way, and we think we have the solution for you. But being humble enough to know that it's not about you have to go Aquastar, you have to go Raypak, you have to go Poolside Tech, right? But we just want you to make the right choice and buy the right equipment or the best possible equipment for that application. Regardless of who the manufacturer is, we can come together and create a solution so that it's more seamless for you in the backyard, for your people, and for the people that are installing it. I think that's what we preach as Pool Nation from the very beginning was we're much stronger together than we are apart. It's easy to just say those words, but it's one thing to actually live them and breathe them and actually do them, right? And we've been fighting this battle for over 5 years. And everybody's talked to us about how crazy we were. It's never going to happen. There's no way you're going to get that. And you're not going to be able to get these people to work together and do these types of things, right? Keep fighting the good fight. You believe in what you say and you do what you say you're going to do. And eventually you start to see the movement and the change. And for you guys, it wasn't just a concept or a flyer or some pretty little media or something you throw up at distribution or whatever it may be, the new 3 or some catchy thing. You actually did something, a lot of heart. You changed the way your products worked. You shared trade secrets and you worked together and did the taboo or the no type of things that most manufacturers would never even dream of doing with another competitor, just so that you can create something. And if anybody who's been to our boot camps and seen the carts and seen the trainings that we do and learned about the products, you would see and understand why it's important that as professionals we're in the backyard that we make the right choices based off of what our customers needs, not simply because it's more convenient for us because X manufacturer is in the backyard and we need to put that product in. I just wanted to highlight what you said there because sometimes it's just a little statement there, but it really means something to see you guys really come together, and I commend you guys.
And it's an ongoing commitment
Yes.
to do that every day. I think one of the things that separates us is we're committing to performing that activity every day. Like we're never done. So pools are hard. Like we always like to say, pools are very hard. And we want to constantly analyze. So like at Poolside Tech and Aquastar and Raypak, we're constantly analyzing what's going on in the real world because we do have all this data. It is connected to the internet. So we can see all these things, right? And we're constantly trying to make sure that it's better and it's easier. And that commitment has to happen every day or you become a dinosaur, right? If you stop doing that, you're done, at least in the tech industry, for sure. So it's really great to work with these other companies that have those same core values that want to do that and continue to do that every day.
And the efficiency, what he talked about with the collaboration relative to analyzing every day and catching the problems, catching the gotchas that happen out there. We work tirelessly behind the scenes to even catch that stuff before it goes to market. We'll be able to tackle things that maybe there's, instead of 20,000 units out there and 20,000 problems out there, there might be 10 problems out there and 10 units out there. And the ability to see all that information from the Poolside Tech platform is just, it's incredible. And the amount of information that's shared and the willingness, it's a collaboration relative to, okay, who can handle the fix and what is the fix that will be sustainable, and then make the change very quickly when we need to.
And probably to add to that, like all the opportunities to make sure that the pool professional doesn't have to drive back to the pool pad. So anytime we can do something to just make it easier so they don't have to drive back, remotely configure, change something with the software, who knows, it's huge. And I can't tell you how many times we're told, wow, that's awesome. I'm an hour and a half away from Mrs. Smith or whatever it is. I really didn't want to go back there this week. I get it. Of course you don't want to go back there this week. You have other things you got to do. So to really be on top of everything, make it as easy as possible. It could be something as simple as, hey, gosh, there's like high outlet temperatures in a Raypak heater, and really it's just you need more flow. But if you can help pool professional not go back to that pad, Mrs. Smith can heat the pool still, right? All is well. You didn't have to argue with Mrs. Smith about a service call or whatever, right? That stuff is huge. And it's really great to be doing that kind of stuff every day, to constantly improve things and constantly move the ball forward, right, in our industry.
I like what you're saying about the constant improvement. We're 3 separate companies with our own R&D teams, engineers, all that. And we have 3 different teams out there in the field, hearing information, voice of customer, and bringing that back. And hey, you know what would be amazing is if we could do this with our products, and then we're innovating in ways that the industry has never seen before, and thinking about how can we create more intelligence on the pad to make that experience even better, solve those problems that have always haunted and plagued the pool pros. That is the thing that is amazing about the collaboration, especially.
One of the things I love about it, John, is if you think about it, and they all 3 do really well, is there's always a constant focus on the pool pro, right? They know who their core customer is. They know who it is that they're talking about. And we were sitting there yesterday and they're having conversations and stuff like that. And a lot of it, and especially Bob was talking about it, was everything that we do, we try to eliminate as much as we can from the pool pro having to go back. And he was talking about his days when, you know, it's in the restaurant, right? And it's very easy in the restaurant business to, if there's a problem with the printer, you just call the person there, you walk the person through it. That's it. There's somebody that's physically there. But the way that they look at it is, we understand that the pool pro is away, like you were just saying, an hour and a half away. And it is a Friday afternoon. You're getting done with your route, and all of a sudden figure out that there's some settings that, you know, is off, and you're going to have to drive all the way back over there. And they treat that as, what can we do to solve the problem there, so that pool pro doesn't have to come back? Because it's not like it used to be, not like the industry that we were in. And we talk about it all the time with Aquastar. We talk about it all the time with Raypak. But there's that consistent focus on how do we help that pool pro solve that problem. And that's huge.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm giggling and anybody who's watching is because we're sitting here talking about like we came up with a cure for cancer or something like that. But this is such small potatoes and like low-hanging fruit, and what we've been technologically capable of doing for so many years. But as an industry, we chose this path not to do this, to make it more difficult, to not give you these options, to force you to have to do things that you didn't want to do, or for whatever reason. And it's, wow, okay, your heater now can communicate with another automation and allow it to know, hey, look, when it's had that abilities, it's been able to do it, right? You know what I mean? But to have that for it, to be able to go, hey, look, yes, we can do this now, and we can help you. We can make it a much more enjoyable experience, because the worst thing, and like you're saying, like, oh my God, I'm done with my pools, I'm done with my router, I'm going on vacation, I'm on weekend, and it's something like that. And, you know, it's like this, look, again, a story, right? We just put a new pump in, and we get the other pump that was in there. I'm not going to say names, whatever. We replaced it. We put a new pump in. It's the right pump. It's sized correctly for that pad. It's the right one that I'm supposed to put in. And then when the client comes back down, because it's an Airbnb, and looks at it, they call up Janie, and they're like, oh my God, we had to turn the pump off because it was running dry. And I'm like, no, it's not running dry. It's running right. It just looks like there's no water in there because the pump is running right. You know what I mean? It's like those types of things, right? If you didn't have that foresight, like with the heater and like you're talking about, yeah, it could be your filters. Maybe you need to pump up the RPMs a little bit just to get through that weekend so that heater fires. When you don't have to go out there and do that on a Sunday or get a disappointment for a birthday party or whatever. And I know I need to bump it up to 3,200 instead of 2,500 just to get through it, right? But those types, or I'm looking at it and I go, okay, yeah, I have this issue. Now I know what I need to have when I go out there, because not every pool pro, you know, especially guys and gals that might only have 30 pools, 20 pools, or 100 pools, they don't have an inventory of product. And they need to go to distribution in order to buy the parts or get the parts to bring it out there. But now they might have a little bit of visibility and understanding, hey, look, okay, I need to get a stacked flue sensor. I need to get this, or I need to get that, or whatever it may be. I'm going to be prepared. So when I go out there, because I have this information, I'm able to diagnose it remotely, and then I can go out there and do that. It saves me time. I look like the hero for my customer, and then I don't have to make 3 different trips.
The crazy part is that we could have been doing this for the last $1 billion years, like I talked about, right? Like technology is there, but yet nobody chooses to do this.
The internet has been around,
Yes, right? It's not hard.
Like no one can deny the internet's been around. And I think like one of the things that we do at Poolside is we're constantly taking your feedback too. We practically have a full-time position where we're constantly updating our knowledge base for every product that's out there, where we have all these little tips where maybe you need to press these buttons, or maybe you need to do this, or it's angry and you need to do that. It's almost what we've discovered to be like a full-time job to try to keep up with all these manufacturer nuances.
Yeah.
And the goal is hopefully you don't have to drive there. But if you did, you're told what you need to do when you get there, and you might need to have this thing, that thing, or the other thing, but at least you know.
And you told a story. I have a great story about Bob a while back. When I first was introduced to the product, I think you called me customer number 10.
Customer number 10.
Number 10, yeah. I've had it in since the middle of
June 24th, 2021.
21, yeah. So I've been a believer for quite a while. So, and piling on top of that, I have family members in the area that have pools. And so I'd call Bob and, hey, can I get an attendant? We're going to upgrade the pad and put our stuff in. Can I get an attendant? And getting product out of Bob that bends in the room. He'll attest to how difficult that is. But anyway, he was gracious enough. He was very gracious enough to give me one. And so the day of install, I did not tell him what the day was. He had no clue when we were doing it. The day of install, we go in, we swap the whole pad, we light up the pool attendant, and we start going through the interview process, which is how you reconcile your pool configuration to your pool attendant. And I got to a point where I was like, kind of stuck. So I'm like, I'll call Bob. He'll help. And so I called Bob. Didn't know that he would be able to help, but I thought maybe he'd point me in the right direction. And he goes, hey, Todd, how's it going? I go, good. Just trying to set up the pool attendant here. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm watching you set it up right now. He goes, super creative, but not going to work. And he rearranged a couple of things. But again, had no clue that I was doing it that day. And the fact that he was sitting there watching. And again, he talks about the internet's been there for a long time. This capability has been there for a long time. It's just, it took someone like Pool Attendant and Bob to come into this industry and light that up and bring that to attention. And that advantage is massive.
In the real world, like where this really helps you, the pool professional, we are watching you as you're setting up your Aquastar pump and your Raypak heater. We see you doing it. And that's actually a good thing, because we also see if you're having a hard time, for maybe you didn't read the directions on how to connect the wires, or who knows, right?
Or it's the second one that you're putting in.
Or the first one.
Like I remember putting them in and going, but to have somebody that could just go,
so
let me help you out.
So we see that, and we start a clock when we see that there's trouble, and you can almost expect a call from us. We usually give you about 24 hours, but then we're going to call you and proactively say, hey, maybe you didn't know we had this number to call for support, or maybe you didn't understand we could be on a Zoom call within minutes, or maybe you didn't know all these things. But we want to make sure you're successful installing that, in this example, the Aquastar pump, and we're here for you, and we'll get you going, right?
And how about that customer experience?
That's what I'm saying.
It really blows people away.
Yeah, instead of waiting on hold for an hour for a representative, they're actively calling and saying, hey, I mean, that customer experience is bananas and something that we've never seen in this industry.
And thank you for being nice and saying an hour. We all know how long
or
that
just
is.
saying, hey, look, I'm sorry, that's not our product. We can't help you with it.
Yeah.
Well, I really feel like that should really stop in our industry,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's goal, like somehow or another, like this pool professional is your customer one way or another with X amount of products on the pad. The goal of everybody should be to help him or her move along, right? There doesn't need to be the level of finger pointing that I think we've historically had. And I think as a group here, we're very happy to be setting an example of how that should stop, right? And, you know, how you should really invest in what's really important, like taking really great care of the professional. Because like if you do that, they're going to do it again and again. And we love monitoring that, like, oh yeah, they did have, we call it a good time, right? Even if you had to call support because you didn't know how to connect the wires or who knows what it was. But we try to make sure you have a good time installing pool equipment. Perhaps it's not always the best time because of course you're out there in the elements, but we look at it as, did you have a good time? Did we answer your question as fast as possible? Did we proactively call you if we thought you should have some extra help because we can help you? We see there's an opportunity. And it's nice that we share these values with Aquastar and Raypak, and we want everybody to really have a good time.
Just to let you know, over here, our boy Corey Holland is going, I know who the 2-hour phone call is, Edgar. Hey, big shout out here before I got another question. But hey, Maria from Ensenada, big shout out. Ariam, big shout out. Mr. Michael Kraus, the new 3 have broken the spell. Stagnant, inefficient equipment pads. The new 3 is the future, and the future is now. Wow, he's inspired today. What? Wow, dropping it.
There.
Hey, David Cap City, what's going on, brother? Big shout out to you. I expect to see you over in Las Vegas. I've been watching for you, brother. Let me come back here really quick. Barry Blue Pools, a big shout out. Alex Piscinas, all the way in Puerto Rico. Shout out to you, brother. Seigel, what's going on? Anibal, Sunset Dreams, the Chlorinator. Vic from PEP, big shout out to you, brother. Easy Blue Pool Service, big shout out. The Pool Tech, Mr. Corey Rax. Or Zach is back.
He's back.
Zach is back from the Naked and Afraid episode that's going to air. When is it going to air, Todd? You don't know?
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know? So kind of keep that separate, right? You know what we'll do is we'll put a link and people will have to pay to see the episode of Naked and Afraid.
Talk about determination and never quitting. That guy's been there in 5 years, year after year after year,
Never
trying
even
out
caught a
and never,
fish.
and it's never, you know what I mean? Hasn't caught anything. He hasn't even made the cuts once. You know what I mean?
I tell you,
He looks the part.
He looks the part,
looks the
right?
part.
That's probably all he needs to do out in the woods is just look the part, right? Hey, Todd, big shout out to you, Biscayan Pools, Maestra de Piscinas, Brazil. What's going on? Good Life Pools, love swimming pools. Beth, big shout out. Christine. Dane, what's going on, brother? Hey, it was good talking to you the other day. My daughter Bree is on. Look at that. Natalia, big shout out. Cannonball Pools, Classic Pools. Aiden. Kathy, big shout out. Stellar Sales Alliance. Fernando, I owe you a call. I'm going to be driving for 4.5 hours today, so I plan to call you. And Raphael, big shout out to all you guys out there. Let me ask you guys a question, because partnerships like this don't happen very often. And in our industry, I would dare to say that they don't happen. So walk us through how that collaboration came together for you guys to be able to work together.
You want me to start?
Yeah, Todd, you start.
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, it was just as Justin talked about at the beginning and John talked about a bit, is that need for a efficient, quality pool pad. And then when we started to work together on different projects, we started to see core values align. And those core values we can talk about for hours. They're long, long conversations relative to how you go about your business and what that means for the end user. And then we started talking about, hey, I think we could do something more here. I think we could actually pull together and take it to the industry to give them an option and make it, let's figure something out and make it okay in a way for them to quote unquote break a bundle and then go to them with what we felt was the best quality in the industry, the best heater manufacturer, the best automation manufacturer. We feel we're the best pump and filter manufacturer. So it was an easy collab really from the beginning. I don't think there was any hesitation on anyone's part. It just made sense.
I'd like to add in there too, the beautiful thing about this partnership is that it was very organic. And I think part of that is that it's like nature healing itself. Like the industry knew, and we knew that something had to change. We kind of organically found each other. And I like to say, I think Poolside Tech, you guys were definitely a catalyst in that, because you guys were bringing something new to the industry of being able to talk to everyone. And that eventually brought us to want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like it created this open space to...
It did, yeah. So like for us, we wanted quality partners that we could further extend the innovation beyond what was already on the pad with the pump or the heater, or the heat pump, right? We wanted to be able to do a lot more with those things because we saw tremendous opportunity in some of these gaps in the data, what was missing that would make it easier for pool professionals to go about their day. So we saw there was an opportunity, and then we also saw the need just by having lots of dealers ask, because for one reason or another, they might have been frustrated with, the current vendor they had. And maybe it wasn't the whole suite of products from that vendor, but maybe like one thing or two things weren't working that well. And maybe not for the last couple of years. And it was very frustrating. Maybe the pump was great, but the heater, not so much, or vice versa. And there was a demand that this is not okay. Boy, I perhaps really like their salt cells, but I just don't like their heaters and pumps anymore. And I want to do something different. And I think what we like seeing in our data is seeing all these pool professionals that are now shopping. As crazy it sounds, like you can now just simply go shopping, just like you can in a store. And if you are frustrated with the heater, cool. You could easily just go to Raypak. That is a better integration. And same thing on the pump, right? To open those doors, I think it's such a critical time in the pool industry to benefit everybody, really, that if the manufacturers don't have a stranglehold of incompatibilities on the industry that are just purposely put there. And obviously for business reasons, they put them there, right? You can't blame them for trying, but I think it's critical for not just pricing, but simplicity and a whole host of other reasons that we caught this, I believe, in time before, the pool industry could have further locked itself into this vendor lock-in kind of dark space where you would just not have choice.
And we talked yesterday about how difficult the industry is in 25, right? What we're looking for in 26. But we have a play in this as well, right? If us as an industry can't create a product for the homeowner that is clean, efficient, and safe, then we're not going to get the word of mouth out, which is what grows our industry, right? Even though we know we're stagnant because money's a little expensive now. And so it's a little cumbersome to put your money into projects like that. But we also have to take accountability as well and say, hey, what have we been providing for our clients for how many years? And the lack of innovation that has happened for how many years? Now, what we feel we're doing is we're upping our game to give that pool professional homeowner a better experience. I'll keep saying it, but I think it's so important because regardless if money doesn't become less expensive next year, we still got to put in 60, 70,000 pools, right? And those pools have to get serviced. And that experience for everyone is so important. And I think that's where the other part of where the alignment comes from.
What are some of the non-negotiables you guys run your companies by?
Well, I guess we're all really lucky to be privately held companies. And I think that's a very important detail. So we don't have to report to shareholders. And two of the companies are still founder run. So you're lucky that you have these core values where you put the customer first before profit. It would never be acceptable, at least for us at Poolside Tech, if Raypak or Aquastar was unwilling to do the same. I think everybody appreciates keeping the pool professional moving. That's a really core value. The equipment that's shipped has to be well tested and well understood. Todd, I guess I'll let you do a couple.
Yeah. I mean, for us, it's real simple. We don't sacrifice on safety. We don't sacrifice on efficiency, and we don't sacrifice on quality. And then the non-negotiables for employees are, for me, culture over strategy all day long. Culture over strategy wins. And when you can couple a great product with that scenario in two other great companies to bring the professional a better product, I think you're going to win. So yeah, it's definitely safety is always paramount. We do not negotiate on, we do not say, oh, it's good enough when it comes to those values. When he talks about testing going into the market, anybody that's ever been to our facility, they know we test every pump, every filter, and every valve that goes out the door before it even hits your suppliers. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, those are everything you guys are saying are things that Raypak has always focused on. Those are our values. Additionally, and we talked about this morning, we've always focused on making products, even as long as I've been here and looking back into the history of Raypak, built products that stand the test of time, longevity, reliability. We're known for being heavy, and that's the feature, right? Because it's made with real sturdy materials that are going to last season over season, and that's what we want to build. And I think another non-negotiable that we have is that we're not trying to build planned obsolescence. We challenge the industry, hey, we're making the best products we can. We're innovating. We want you guys to keep providing us feedback to help us make it better, because it's only going to make it better for you and your customers.
Yeah, we can't be a me too.
Yeah.
We're not going to be a me too.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, because you're talking about it, Justin, and you're talking about the pool pros and the feedback, but what role did the feedback of the pool pros have a play in you guys partnering?
You want to take it first, Justin?
Sure.
Or-
Where we've gotten a lot of feedback is pros want equipment that works well together. I mean, that's one of the main things, right? They want the choice to be able to go and put in whatever product they want. For Raypak, traditionally, we're always that second heater because we're not the bundle. People, as soon as that heater runs out, the first one, Raypak goes in. That's always been our long-standing way that we've been in the industry, because we're not a one-stop shop when it comes to product. And the way the industry has trended has been to kind of, again, muscle some of those quality category experts out of the space. And so pros have constantly been to us saying, hey, how do we get you guys back into the pad? And so we innovated. You guys are innovating. And I think they want innovation that's going to give them that freedom. And that's the main voice of customer that we always get from the pros.
And I would say from our point of view, like, we're on the phone with pool professionals a lot, as they're doing installs. And it's very easy to hear their frustrations when a certain piece of pool equipment doesn't work. It's very frustrating because you think you're going to spend 3 hours and now you got 6 because who knows, this heater isn't firing, or this pump was dead, or the light bulb's dead, like whatever it might be, right? And if you sit there and you listen to these phone calls over and over again, it's very clear that nobody likes this. Nobody likes this at all. And you can hear their frustration with this piece of equipment or that piece of equipment, and they don't want it there, right? And previously, like, they had no choice. Like, it had to still be there. Like, you just had to buy another one, like, tough, right? But you hear in their voices that they don't want this. As we do thousands and thousands of swimming pools, you just hear this over and over again. You might like this, but you don't like that. And this really sucks. And boy, you really screwed that one up, or whatever it is, right? And at all the pool industry manufacturers, there's a lot of good, hardworking people. And nobody is doing this intentionally. I truly believe nobody sets out like, boy, I'm just going to try to make mistakes today. Like, nobody does that, right? But mistakes do happen. We're all human, right? And that's okay. But being able to have selection in the marketplace when this does happen is good. And that's one of the core reasons and the feedbacks that we were getting, that this makes a lot of sense in a lot of situations.
Bob, you spoke on it a little bit when you talked about how you guys are privately held. And for those that don't truly understand it, or the way I look at it, at least, is that's quite the advantage in a lot of different ways. There's some things that make it a little tougher being privately held compared to some of the bigger corporate monsters that are out there. When it comes down to obviously growing and financing or penetrating market share, makes it a little bit difficult, especially if you're a smaller company, but there are a lot of upsides to it. How do you think being privately held has made it easier for you, or help you stay true to the values that you guys hold in our industry?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I think if we were one of the big three, we'd be worth billions of dollars, making hundreds of millions of dollars a year off the pool industry. And if you're making money at that scale, you're probably happy and you're content. And boy, the shareholders are okay with this, and you don't really have to change. Like, when you're privately held, you don't have to worry about the shareholders. The CEO, has to worry about all these other people, right, to make them happy and give them money. So in our cases, we don't have these other people to report to. So we don't have investors per se to report to that have a different set of values. It's probably true that most investors in a public company, like if it's a pool company, probably don't care too much about the pool professionals. They probably care about how much money they're making on their money.
I'll be the one to say it. They don't give a shit about the pool pro.
Probably not. You could probably interview any investor and they don't care, right? They just want money. And maybe that's how part of the economy works. And that is what it is, right? In our case, we could choose to be those types of people. I would say we're just not. We build businesses in a different way. And we try to have a good moral compass that guides us through the dealer to make them want to do it again and again, not because they're forced to for any reason other than they want to, because they had a great time. And I think by not having outside investors like that, we can choose to prioritize doing the right thing longer, right? And move things up the investment stack like right away and take advantage of those opportunities. I've been a part of public companies and I've had private equity investors in my past. And turns out they would like to make money, right?
It's the name of the game.
Only money.
Yeah, like to the surprise of no one, right? And then when you're trying to run a company where you have investors and employees and customers, you have these 3 different sets of individuals you're trying to please. A lot easier when you only have 2 sets of individuals, like your employees and your customers. It makes all the difference in the world when you're trying to do what we're trying to do.
And the synergy between the private companies, what we do, and what we're catering to, the one polars, the service companies out there, you guys are private companies as well. And I like to give the analogy of, if you were a one polar and held by PE, you would be timed or clocked at every pool you go to. So say you show up at Mrs. Smith's pool one day and you're supposed to spend 25 minutes there and you spend 35, and you get back to your shop and your boss looks at you and he goes, "Why'd you spend 35? We just lost money." She had a leaky valve and we had to replace it. We had to replace the guts on it. And if we didn't do that, she was going to have a bigger problem. So you as a one polar would always have someone to answer to. And you would always have to answer to maybe why you took that extra step to make your customer have a better experience or take care of your customer. We are that way. We get to take our time. We get to make decisions. We don't have anybody standing over us going, "No, I really don't want you to make that change to that pump because we're making this much money on it now. And if we have to shut down production for this amount of time, we're going to lose this much money. And we don't care if it is going to lower the warranty rate on that product. We don't want you to make that change right now. We'll make it down the road." We have nobody doing that to us. And that gives us the ability to make changes very quickly and make changes on our own and not have to answer to anyone else relative to, "You spent too much time doing that and we lost X in the first 5 weeks," and not understanding they would gain whatever in the next 5 years. I think that may be the best analogy relative to what it allows us to do.
Just because it's such an important point, like just not having a board of directors and just being able to call Todd or Justin or whatever, as our people call each other, say, "Hey, like, I'd really like you to do this."
Yeah.
I know I can't call, say, somebody in the big 3 and say, "Hey, I'm seeing these problems. I would really like you to do this."
You can call them.
I could call them. Yeah, I'm sure.
But
we know how that would go, right?
I'm not sure they're going to answer.
No, they probably wouldn't, right? But it's such an important difference. Like I say, there's a lot of really smart, hardworking people at the big 3, but they have layers of management, and then they have, these, very long roadmaps, and they have these schedules, and this has been approved by the board of directors. And even if, and I'm sure they do, they have all these lovely, wonderful ideas they'd love to do just now, they cannot because there's a budget, and the budget was set last year. And oh, well, I've been a part of those environments, and it's really not a lot of fun. And I totally appreciate what it's like to live inside of those walls. And that's why when you're trying to do what we're trying to do, this way is a lot better. Really is. Yeah, I would love to be a $1 billion company with $100 million of profit, right? That'd be easier, right?
Yeah.
But you tend to lose sight of what's truly important and what you really need to be doing when you get to that level. And it's not just the pool industry. It's a lot of large...
It's all of them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, all the big ones. But it's funny because sometimes it's about doing the right thing for the industry. And
the right thing takes time.
Yeah, it irritates me. So I won't cuss here, but it irritates me, right? That a lot of the pool industry is just seen as this whole, and nobody cares, and everybody's just coming in to take their money out. And nobody cares about the pool pros and the one polars out down there. And nobody really cares about the different things. And when it's time to do the right thing for the industry, or spotlight the industry, or care for the industry, or give the tools back to those pool pros and those people, then there's a quietness that happens. And a lot of it is because of that is, "Oh, that's not in the budget. Oh, that has to be approved to the board of directors," and all that kind of stuff. Where companies like you're able to pivot. And a lot of times, and Todd, we've had these conversations where we're doing this because it's the right thing to do, period. End of story. It's going to cost us more money, but it's the right thing to do for the industry. And I think that speaks a lot to the pool pros with regards to what you guys are doing with the innovation, with continuing to not be okay with good is good enough, right? It's like we constantly have to be able to take it to the next level. And people are starting to notice that. People are starting to see, and hey, it might be a little claw one at a time, right? But like John says, what is it? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? And the thing is, we just got to keep going out there and promoting it and talking about it. A lot of pool professionals looking to break away from the herd. This is a great opportunity, is what we got online. Creative group of privately held companies working with the service guys in mind. Love this concept, right? Big shout out to our boy Gary over here. And let me just make sure I don't forget anybody else, because They're unforgiving if I don't. Just to let you guys know, they become very unforgiving. I get a lot of phone calls. Hey, big shout out over here to Clearwater Pools, Pool Icons, Mr. Skimmer. What's going on? Can't wait to see you up in Vegas. Trying to get those $10,000, baby. Gray Shark Pools. Looking forward to seeing you guys again out in Las Vegas. Pete the Pool Guy. It's Jojo. Jojo, I owe you a phone call. Another 4.5 hour drive phone. I've been making phone calls like crazy on my drive.
As long as you don't call me.
As long as I don't call you. Only Pools. What's going on, Daniel? Arizona Pool Doctor. Big shout out to you out there. MB Pool Plaster. Big Family. Philly. What's going on? Alexandra. OC Pool Solutions. Our boy Phil, yes, which is going up to Las Vegas, nominated for Pool Guy of the Year. And a big shout out to Andy Reynoso. Gentlemen, you ready for a break?
I am.
I need John to get that 5-hour energy drink over there down his neck.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing fired up.
We're going to fire it up, right? All right, guys. Let's take a word from our sponsors. When we come back, we will continue.
Hey, you pool pros. This is the year you change your pool business forever. Join us for a fully immersive conference that not only teaches you water chemistry and the hands-on day-to-day of a highly successful pool business, but how to make the most of your business and make money. Pricing, profit, cash flow, leadership. It's happening October 24th and 25th at the PSP Expo in Las Vegas. We've designed a powerful 2-day business track to help you build a smarter, more profitable company. Day 1, financials. Learn how to shift from technician to owner. Day 2, get expert knowledge about people and performance. From hiring and training to time management and accountability, we'll help you lead a team that drives results. Build a business you love.
Hey, guys, let's be clear. These aren't just lectures. We're not here to hit you with a bunch of theory and then send you on your way home. We're diving into what your numbers are actually telling you about your business and how to build a team that takes the stress off your plate and makes your business more profitable. Visit poolspotpatio.com or poolnation.com.
That's poolnation.com. We'll see you in Las Vegas. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. U.S. Motors Neptune Variable Speed Motor provides a versatile replacement solution for all your pool pump motor needs. This motor can communicate with pool control systems, provide low voltage options to work with time clocks, and can be installed as a standalone pump motor. The Neptune motor can be easily installed on existing pumps, upgrading them to a variable speed pump without the need for replumbing. Enjoy energy savings and quiet operation by installing a Neptune Variable Speed Motor today. For more information and to find your local distributor, visit usmotors.com/pool. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double-locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We continue our conversation.
Never fails.
With
every
the
time.
new 3. You know, I had hopes that you would catch it and just roll with it, but
It's a thing now. It's your shtick.
So, by the way, last time we were here,
What I miss?
remember last podcast and I went outside and I went out into La La
Oh, yeah,
Land
you got
and all that.
lost.
I come back, John's on the live, just kind of monologuing over here going, did you forget that there's a podcast? Because we're live again. And normally that's me making fun of him and he threw me out of there. By the way, I took offense to what you just sent to John. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to take offense to what you just sent to John. John, read what she sent to you.
Uh-oh.
Where's your phone?
Where's my phone?
Poor JD.
I know what it is, so I'll paraphrase here. She sent him something about, you look so sexy today, and you look so hot, and you're so good looking.
It's Friday, remember?
Because I'm sitting next to you, right? And I look so ugly that I make you look good. That's why you got that text.
Bro, I thought we were friends.
Other than that, you wouldn't get that text.
Why are you robbing this moment?
You've
that I have
never
right
gotten
now?
that text before until I sat next to you.
No, I never vocalized it.
So-
Look, and she's
probably going,
keep it
that
PG.
Edgar's ugly. Damn, my husband looks good.
I'll keep it PG, but she did. I get a random text from my wife, and Mama, I love you. And she just says, hey, handsome, you look very sexy today.
See?
So I was like,
Sitting
oh,
next
great.
to Edgar.
Yeah.
Right? So I get it. It's all good. Luckily, you guys didn't ride with me today because you'd be walking home.
Edgar, we all have our strengths, right? We all have our strengths.
So, anyways, gentlemen, let's continue our conversation. We talked a little bit about the innovation. Want to talk a little bit more about that. We talked about how you guys came together. There's one thing that brought you together, and that is your core values. So, can we talk a little bit about that and talk about what are your guys' kind of personal core values, but then the ones that you use to drive your companies with, and why that's so important for what you guys are doing together?
So for Raypak, our core values are longevity and innovation. We pride ourselves on making products, again, that stand the test of time. We provide support for products that are like 30 years old. Not very many companies do that. We have a strong tradition of innovating within the space. It's even one of the reasons why we're part of the Ream family, because there's a lot of innovation that they saw, wanted to bring us in-house with them. So,
And I think for poolside tech, like obviously the quality of the product's really important. And then the velocity that we can deliver you new feature functionality to make your life easier is super important. And your experience with us, whenever you need us, is critically important. If you do need help and you do need a call or text or whatever it is you need, we value that tremendously. And as I keep saying, did you have a good time? And knowing full well that probably installing pool equipment is not a good time, if all the things you could do in life, but for this specific purpose, for your job, did you have a good time doing it? We're constantly analyzing all the support calls, the button presses, how well the pool equipment is working on the pad to try to figure out, are you having a good time? Did you have success? Your homeowner's happy. They're recommending you to their neighbors to do stuff for them. Those things are so important to us that we spend sometimes hours on it a day, just constantly analyzing this to see what our moves are for that day or that week or the next couple of weeks to really make that true. It's never ending, like with us at Poolside Tech.
And for us, I've said it already, but culture over strategy all day long. We have fun with each other relative to who's taking PTO that day. For instance, our plant manager, Tibor, shout out Tibor, he's on vacation today. And I hit him with the question this morning and I was like, I promise this will be the only question I give you today. And he answered and wrote back and he goes, you know me, bud. And he goes, whatever you need. And that's the culture we have. And we have an internal laugh with everyone that when someone goes out on PTO, that no one would ever get paid for PTO because they never take PTO, right? They're always working whenever we need them for anything. And then you couple that with Ulaf, the owner's vision of quality products, efficient products, and safe products. And then you bring those people together that share those same cultural values. You can do amazing things. And I believe that we're doing that.
I just want to say one thing too. And you guys are amazing at taking care of your people. I mean, you guys celebrate Brian's birthday every single day.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Hey, somebody sent me a message here. Please tell Bob, go Cowboy fan for me. Are you a Cowboy fan?
Oh, man.
Are you a Cowboy fan?
Going to get me in trouble in Dallas, but no,
Philly.
I'm from Philly.
You're from Philly. Oh,
Yeah, no, but
those are fighting words.
A lot of people in the pool industry do know I'm from Philly, and I do love the Eagles. So
Yeah.
I have a guess of like 40 people who that could be coming from.
Oh, man.
Hey, wait, it's a little easier team to root for too, right?
The Eagles?
Yeah.
Today? Yes. Yeah, sorry. We'll go with the ownership is better with the Eagles. Yeah, no, it's tough to be a Cowboys fan, I guess, right now.
Yeah, go
See
Birds.
that? I think they're trying to throw him off his game.
Yeah. Yep.
Seems like that one came with a little zinger, right, John?
Yeah. So you guys, I mean, you bring up and you talk about the values that you hold as a company, and being privately held and a little smaller than some of the other companies out there, you're in a unique position to sometimes in the corporate world, you live in that area where you get these wonderful mission statements or these values and you throw them up on the wall because it looks good and you need it for your employee handbook and it's just there on a poster. But the real question is, do people get to live it, breathe it, and actually practice it with some accountability if you don't make your decisions or do what you do when you're there at the company working and aren't following those values? You guys use it so that you live by them, obviously, because you're willing to step outside comfort zones and work together for the greater good. How do you actually collaborate? Do you guys do daily calls? Do you share data? Do you have real-time dashboards that you, how does a collaboration work on a day-by-day basis, not only within your company, but within the new three and the collaboration?
Yeah, so I'll start with that, right? So we're normally the box connected to the internet, obviously, at Poolside Tech. So we're the ones that start out with all the data. And we're typically the first line of defense when a support call comes in. So not only will we hear voice of customer like coming to us over the phone or whatever, we also see across all the pools that are being installed, not just specifically like Aquastar and Raypak, but we actually see all the equipment, all the failures. So we have some general sense on any given, we'll call it month. What's the rate of failure of, Pentair? What's the rate of failure of Aquastar, right? And how, right? What's happening, right? Why is it not working? It's this error code or it's this situation or who knows. But the beauty of this relationship is then individuals at Poolside Tech who do have these dashboards and see all this information, right? We can actually see the amount of time a dealer took to install it, how many times they press save, over what time period, what could they possibly have been struggling with that was so hard. Maybe we made it too hard at Poolside Tech. Who knows, right? There's so many things every day we can improve upon. You would be amazed at all the learning opportunities we have. But we take this data and then with a great partnership with Aquastar and Raypak, we share this back. We're like, oh, hey, we're seeing this. We see this, right? And we would like, plain English, like, tell us why. Why are we seeing this? I see this here. And we can see like across the country, like where we're seeing it. So we have some general sense, of like, okay, we're seeing this over here and that over there. Is there anything we can immediately do to make this more better? And oftentimes the answer is yes. And oftentimes the answer is, within a day or two, right? And the same thing with Raypak, right? They can take it back to their engineers and like sometimes the suggestion would be like code this differently or whatever, and then it'll be happier. Who knows, right? There's all these opportunities to learn from all these installations, right? Because once you start doing this in mass volume, you get like the things that might only happen once or twice, or you wouldn't even know about it if it wasn't connected to the internet, you suddenly start to see, right? And the key is to catch it like fast. If one bad thing happened to you, John, we feel terrible, but we want that bad thing to like never happen to anybody else. And then it's a race against time knowing that there's a small chance that whatever could happen again to somebody else, and you just don't want that to happen. It's great to work with these companies to facilitate those responses. So what you don't realize when you're installing Poolside Tech, Aquastar, and Raypak, that in fact you are being watched, and we're taking the experiences that you had and always trying to figure out how to work together to make that better, which is cool. So you put it in and you had no idea you were a part of this bigger experiment of your experience doing something has helped everybody else throughout the country. And honestly, it's really great working with over 1,000 customers we have now that are doing this with us. And it really helps. And sometimes, like oftentimes, you might not even know, John, that something happened to you because we saw it. We caught it at 2 a.m, saw something happen. And before you noticed or your customer noticed or whatever, something magically happened. You're fine.
I'm sorry. I just want to jump in real quick and sorry, Todd, but to hear that, we're so conditioned as end users or the pool pros that when we buy products, usually everything stops at that point. As soon as you buy the product, it's over. But with constantly hearing it from you guys and living it and being partners for so many years and seeing how it works and what you're interested in and walking the plants and talking to the employees and hearing the stories and having the experience of using the products and seeing the things that were spoken about a year ago come to fruition today because of a change or something that needed to be done. And it's just refreshing to hear manufacturers say, hey, look, yeah, you bought my product and it's great. Okay, let's move on. Who's going to buy it? Let's find someone else to buy it. But it's more, that's just the beginning of the journey, right?
It really is, because what we consider to be great success is when you do it again and again. Because you want to, because you had a great time. It's hard to explain, like, that we consider ourselves like never done, right? So you think, gosh, I installed this Raypak heater and I guess they're done. You know, they're making more heaters, but actually that's not true whatsoever. The fact that we're constantly looking at all these things to make sure that any possible thing that could cause you to have to go back there when you don't want to is terrible. Anything we can do to prevent that is awesome. Even better yet, if you don't even know, so that you can just carry on with your day. The homeowner, perhaps you didn't know that improvement was made, and you don't have to, because like you have your job to do and kind of we have ours, right? So that's definitely one of the big value propositions of what's going on for you, that we do have all this data. We are able to see patterns. We are able to work together very closely. And honestly, I joked about it earlier because it's connected to the internet. It's pretty simple to update these things and make sure that something that could happen in a one-off edge case or whatever over here, over there, just simply doesn't happen. That's great for not only us in our support department. We're not taking a call potentially from you.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Right. From a company standpoint, solving that, right?
So solving that, like selfishly, we want to do that, believe it or not, rather than hiring a gazillion support technicians. You know, it's better to keep cost of product down as much as possible and solve the problems with software. So it's good for us to do that selfishly. It's good to have those values to do that selfishly. You don't see that enough sometimes in corporations. Like you'll just start adding more bodies. Yeah. But it really makes a huge difference. The best part is when, you know, either, let's say I'm working with Raypak or Aquastar, and you, John, don't even know because it worked great. And whatever we might have had to change to do whatever, or maybe set the set points for you or whatever, because sometimes you forget to do that or who knows. Like these little things matter. And the fact that you were able to leave, it worked great. You don't have to go back. The little details matter.
And the collaboration that you asked originally about how we have meetings set up on a weekly basis, it's whenever we need each other, we're available for each other. I've, again, talking about working on vacation, I've called Bob many a times when he's out of the country on vacation and he's still willing to jump in and dive in and figure out what the problem is and vice versa. So it's access to our designers, our engineers, myself. Bob's always available. Stan's always available. And if Stan's listening, I can't wait for that dinner that you owe me. But anyway, the access with each other is the most important thing because I'm not a big believer in setting meetings and scheduling meetings and you sit there and no one has anything to say. It's a waste of time. It's such a time suck. And I don't think they do either. Raypak might have a little different take on that. But sorry, Justin, I had to get that in there. But it really is the access. Sure.
But I was going to say, but the pace at which our industry works is not, let's think about it for a few months. We have to be nimble. We have to be proactive. And I think that's the thing that the three of us are really good at doing. And there's no fear of being able to collaborate with each other. We're very open with each other. And it's just a constant stream of feedback of how can we support.
Trust in any business will make you efficient.
I'm just going to say one thing, John. I'm mad at the attendant. I've been mad at them for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I've been mad at you guys for a long time.
Is that because he's
Bob?
texting right now?
No. So I go back and I think in my days doing all the vacation rentals that I did at Disneyland, and automation was always a big headache because you have a vacation rental, it's got a spa, and then people would come and touch everything, and you come back and the pool's at 104 degrees because they did this or they did that.
Yeah.
And then the actual owner of the home would come over and he'd be all like pissed off. Edgar, what happened? What? And back then it was all kooky. The heaters, you'd put a little thing with a little lock on it. Like you had to try to get creative, but that's how archaic it was, that you're putting little locks.
It's still that way just last couple years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We
We've had
still
to deal with
replace
that crap.
pads that have that,
Yeah.
right? That's state-of-the-art technology.
And I remember going back and, installing automations where it was just, they had the little puck remote and they could just press 3 or 4 buttons, but the one that you put do not touch on it for the heater, they touch it anyways, right? And then you get a call like the heater's not going, and you got to drive over there, press the button, turn it on, that kind of stuff. And you look at what you guys have built and it solves every freaking problem imaginable. And one of my biggest pet peeves was, it got to the point where I was fixing heaters and I was making a killing off of those heaters, but it got to the point that I just didn't want to do it anymore because it's like I'm getting calls on Fridays and I'm getting calls on Saturdays and I'm getting calls on Sunday, and it's all the same damn heaters and it's all the same damn parts that you're replacing on those heaters. And it got to the point where I would go to my vacation rentals and be like, hey, if you don't have an automation, I can't service your pool. If you don't want twice a week, I'm not going to service your pool. And if you don't change that heater to a Raypak ASME, I'm not doing this because I'm not coming out to freaking spend my time here on the weekends fixing the same problems. I joke about it with the automation, but for you guys that you guys do, a lot of vacation rentals now too, like you've got so much control that you can lock out the customer and kind of control what you want to do. Eventually, we just kind of went very simple. We went automation. I put a 4-button spa switch and then I programmed those and that was it. And they couldn't touch anything else. But my biggest problem was the problem that you guys are solving. And that was, I had a preference of a salt system. I had a preference of a heater. I had a preference of a pump, right? But I couldn't do that, right? Because I was locked in, and the only piece of equipment that I could still do was that Raypak ASME heater to be able to control that. And you guys have focused on what John and I were talking about, like the freedom of choice. Like you could get out there and you could really, the sky's the limit. So I want to talk about that. And obviously, why is that such a big deal for you guys?
I'll go first because that's perhaps one of the reasons we started Poolside Tech, was because we came at it from being homeowners. Like we actually could not choose, right? And it was like, oh man, I really like a lot of these things, but I really don't like these pumps because they keep breaking. And then like when you discover as a homeowner, like, wait a second, I can't replace my pumps. I'm not allowed.
I have to buy the same one.
Yeah, like the same one that keeps breaking. Like, no, that's crazy. You tell me you're kidding, right? Nope, not kidding. And when you encounter that for the first time, it's like, wow, that's really crazy because I like some of these things, but I don't like these other things. And why must I be forced to keep buying these replacement things when they have the same problems? That's exactly why it matters. In the real world, outside of the pool industry, when you wander the aisles of Home Depot or Lowe's, you just can buy whatever you want, right? And as a consumer, like you're kind of used to that. If you go in the grocery store, you go into any other store, right? You can go anywhere except the pool store, basically, and you can buy whatever you want, which makes a lot of sense, right? Only in the pool industry, for the most part, where you have these crazy lock-ins where normally like a light bulb has nothing to do with a plumbing fixture if you were to go to Lowe's or Home Depot, but in the pool industry, somehow it does, right? Not because it does in any way other than it was purposely locked. And for financial reasons, sure. Yeah, if you're a large public company, like of course you lock people into that. And of course you want new pools to be locked into that so that when they're serviced by service people, you're forced into buying the same piece of pool equipment, right? So the intentions of a large public company are to make the most amount of profit and to do that. But whether you're distribution or you're a pool professional, that really doesn't work in your favor. Like if you could, who knows, Hayward pump died and you could swap in an Aquastar, the way you would decide what goes on the shelves would be a lot different. You wouldn't have to carry this really wide array and so many of these variations if you were able to just swap out whatever with whatever, like you could a light bulb at your house. We found that at Poolside Tech to be one of the most important parts of our mission statement, to facilitate that and to do better than we would normally find with the integration that the manufacturers had with their own stuff. Without that freedom of choice, you get yourself into a situation where the costs can continually rise because you basically have these little monopolies. and they can do what they want. And what are you going to do? Because like you'd have to replace all the things on the pad. So to constantly increase costs, like it's just allowed, right? There's nothing as a pool professional, as the consumer of these things, you can really do. If this is broken, which we're working very hard on breaking it, and I think we've made a lot of progress in the last couple of years, this suddenly becomes not true. And everybody has to compete on the merits. And I say it's great if somebody builds a better automation than Poolside Tech that talks to all these things and does a better job. I like to say like, cool, like I deserve to be fired. If somebody wants to do it better, I would not expect people to buy Poolside Tech. You should buy, the better one, right? And the same thing is true of the pump and the heater. And if you live by those values, because you have choice, it really changed how you behave, how you act in the marketplace, what you choose to focus on and how you spend your dollars changes. And I think it really matters.
And for us, for years, we watched the home equipment, our cars, everything grow up around us. And the technology just kept getting better and better. I mean, I can talk to my oven from my cell phone, for God's sake.
And how does that conversation go?
Yeah. It typically listens. That's good. But anyway, we've watched all this happen around us, and our pads have stayed the same. They've stayed so primitive. And that's where Olaf and his crazy mind and it comes into play and goes, we can do things so much better. But to get to those points, we have to take steps, right? And so us being in the white goods space, we were able to solve so many pain points for the applicators, for the gun-iders, and for the service professionals, quite frankly, relative to just how we built these little fittings and drain covers and their connection points. And then when we started solving those problems, we had more and more customers come to us and go, man, I wish you were in this space. Man, I wish you would do something here. And then we started looking at our company strategy about moving water in and out of a pool in a safe and efficient fashion. It just made sense with the pump and the filter. And when we started looking at where pumps and filters were and where they are now, man, it was low-hanging fruit. And we were able to, I try to tell everyone, we've taken one swing at this to this point, right? We've come out with one pump and we've come out with one filter. And the success of them and the quality of those are pretty amazing relative to doing it one time, just like the pool attendant. We did it one time, right? And just wait for version 2 on both of those bad boys is all I'm saying. But for us, it was just all of that technology around us growing and the pad just staying stagnant. And the pools, quite frankly, or the pools that are being built are beautiful. They're bananas, the lights, the water features, and they're still dealing with the same equipment.
Yeah. Look, this is my pay point, right? This is my little pet peeve that I have, especially in the pool industry. And I've joked about this for many years. Hey, Mr. Customer, I can upgrade you to remote access on this 35-year-old system that you have here, and then charge them X amount, 2,000, 3,000, whatever. Let me get you upgraded or whatever. And then they come out and Mr. Smith come out and go, John, it looks the same. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so much better.
Oh no, this is top of the line right here. You know what I mean? This new chip is in there.
A little clicking.
And what does that condition you to do?
Yeah,
you don't do it,
I
right?
know.
And so we only replace what we break.
Yeah. And what's frustrating too is that we feel like we're locked in these chains, or that we're forced to do things where, what bothers me is, and Bob, you brought this up a little bit as well, is when you walk into the backyard and as a service professional, we know that we have a heater goes out and then we look at it and there's a certain manufacturer or a master temp or whatever it is. And then the way it's been burned in our minds that what we need to do is we need to put another master temp in there because it's a Pentair system. It needs to have a master temp in there. One, because the plumbing's nice and easy. It's going to communicate and because it works better together. Really? They didn't even communicate with each other up until a year or two ago. They came up with something where the automation can actually talk to it, but it didn't matter which heater you had in there. But we were forced to do this because that's how we grew up to learn and understand. But we missed the point of what our jobs are as professionals in the backyard. Not only our number one focus should be safety, right? For our clients and the people that use the pool, right? The health and safety of the water, the management of the vessel, right? And to make sure that they have fun and enjoy it. We're facilitators of an experience that actually change lives and build memories. You might look at it and go, wow, he's really going off the deep end there. We're just pool guys. We're just pool girls. No, we're not. You know what I mean? With the things we do and the experiences we help facilitate for our clients. in the backyard changes, creates memories. It determines whether or not another family member that got to enjoy that pool had a positive experience. So when they go buy a house, they want to find a house with a pool, right? And not go, oh my God, I can't remember the pool we had or the experience we had. That's the last thing I want to do is have a pool because they're a pain in the ass. And as professionals, when we're in the backyard, we do our customers injustice because we don't offer them the best solution for what's right, simply because we think that we're confined to this box or whatever the norm is. It is our job to offer what is the best product available. And you said it, Bob, again, if there's another automation that's better than Poolside Tech, then so be it. If there's another pump that's better than the pipeline pump, then so be it. You know what I mean? If there's a better heater than the Via heater, then so be it. And we actually encourage that. We want that. This innovation breeds competition. We need this. And I know that if somebody comes out with a better heater, that you guys are going to come out with an even better heater, right? And then now look how far we've come in these short 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We have literally gone leaps and bounds from where we've been from generation to generation, right? When we talk about technology. And the reason why we haven't done it is because to them, it's, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And what other choices do they have? So they have to go with it. We joke about this heater stuff in these Airbnbs. Literally, these are like the most mind-boggling thing. Go with the Jandy because you can do maintain temp. Whoa, you know what I mean? On air, whoa, you can turn on every 2 hours and check the temp. And I'm like, you got to do that. Or you have to go with Jandy because I can't get a password for the Easy Touch. You know what I mean? And it's like, we really couldn't figure this out and do this.
That's where we were.
But we were just there like a year or two ago. You know what I mean? It's just like, and then they're finally getting it. But then now you're going to start to see these new automations that come out and stuff. And it's kudos to you guys, right? Because this is what you're driving. And we are literally changing the industry.
And we see it too. So we obviously pretty much on a daily basis compete with the big three. And we see them starting to be responsive to not all the things we're doing. Like some of the things we're doing, we're starting to see like, okay, well, Pentair is now having to have a little bit more remote access capabilities. And sometimes members on our team be like, uh-oh, I say that's a great thing, right? If we were able to provoke like some of those things and some of those concepts, that's okay. Like we're happy to be like the thought leader and keep pushing forward. We think as long as our core values are good and we can keep innovating, keep listening and staying ahead, that's A-okay. And as you mentioned, like it's okay, right? And you're either going to respond to that and be even better, or you're going to die like a dinosaur, and you choose. It's up to you as a manufacturer. Like, what do you want to do?
Hey, let me give a couple shout outs here and we'll take our final word from our sponsors here. Alan Smith, Meltem, what's going on? Jandy's Rep, what's going on? Pure Swim, Pura Vida, Pool Spa Pro, Jen, what's going on? Let's see, ND. God, some of these Instagram handles are just rough on me today. Hey, Poolside by CTG, what's going on? Mackenzie Hobby, big shout out to you, brother. Lori Best White, we will see you up in Las Vegas. And JAS Pools, big shout out to you guys out there.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, shoot.
Hypo.
Hypo.
That's my wife.
That was your wife?
Yeah.
And I said, yep, there you go. Big shout out to Hypo. So, not to Hypo. Hypo.
Yeah.
Not hypo.
Big shout out to her.
Hypo.
Yeah.
She gets the biggest shout out today. Biggest fan. All right. So let's take a word from our sponsors. When we come back, I'm going to get some final thoughts. Anybody, you want to do some final thoughts today?
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
John and Todd will give us their final thoughts. We'll be right back.
Say goodbye to slideshows and lectures and hello to hands-on learning at this year's Pool Nation Conference. Real tools,
Real techniques.
Real experience.
Join us October 24th and 25th at the PSP Expo in Las Vegas, baby. For 2 days of interactive sessions for real-world application. From equipment demos to workflow walkthroughs, we'll go beyond the basics so you can see it, touch it, do it. Master best practices with live demonstrations and practice using the tools and tech that power today's pool industry. Whether you're new to the trade or leveling up your skills, this is your chance to learn by doing, not just listening. Become an expert in business too. From technician to owner, this is the year you create a business you love in the pool industry.
Hey guys, these aren't lectures. They're real tools that you can take home and start using right away. From what your metrics are really telling you about your business to building a team that makes your life easier and your business more profitable. Register now for the Pool Nation Conference at the PSP Expo in Las Vegas. Visit poolspapatio.com or poolnation.com.
Head to poolnation.com to register now. We'll see you in Las Vegas, Pool Pro.
Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. U.S. Motors Neptune Variable Speed Motor provides a versatile replacement solution for all your pool pump motor needs. This motor can communicate with pool control systems, provide low voltage options to work with time clocks, and can be installed as a standalone pump motor. The Neptune motor can be easily installed on existing pumps, upgrading them to a variable speed pump without the need for replumbing. Enjoy energy savings and quiet operation by installing a Neptune Variable Speed Motor today. For more information and to find your local distributor, visit usmotors.com/pool. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We keep talking to the boys of the new 3. Wow, that's a great picture of that dog, dude. That's a good-looking dog.
Oh, Zeus?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's get him back on here. I don't know how to.
Damn. He doesn't know how to use his tablet. He can't get back out there.
My phone.
Janie's just cracking up over there, kind of probably going, Edgar, squirrel, squirrel. I'm talking about the new 3, and then I see Zeus, and scary dog. I don't think I'd...
Yeah,
only dog I've ever been bitten by before was a Doberman. So,
wow, Dobermans are awesome.
So I'm scared of Dobermans, just to let you know. I can play with any other dog, but so anyways. Hey, Gray Shark Pools, Vegas, baby. Absolutely. Can't wait to see you guys out there. Hey, OC Pool Solutions, free market spawns good competition, forcing us all to improve. Just absolutely.
Amen.
100%. Mr. JJ, would you like Todd to go first so we don't break the chain?
Because we have Todd here. He's going to step in and channel his inner Zachary.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. And
okay.
Zacharias.
All right. Todd, final thoughts?
Yeah. Again, really happy and lucky to be partnering with these two here. And that collaboration inspires innovation. And I think the one thing that I'd like to say and leave everyone with today is we built this platform helped you guys build this platform to ask pool professionals to be better, right? Be better at their job and help them be better at their job. And Pool Nation is doing an incredible job with that. And relative to where we've been prior to now, manufacturers have not done a good job helping professionals be better, right? Because we talk about the replacement market in our world, and we don't replace things until they break. Why are we not replacing things until they break? Because there's not a better widget. You just said, oh, I got to charge you this much, and I'm replacing it with the same thing, right? And so this innovation is so important when you have a more efficient heater that you can replace it with, and it's quantifiable to the homeowner. Or you have a better automation system, more app-friendly automation system, more bells and whistles that you can program your pool or set your pool up to do certain things and have your spa ready for you when you get home and not waste an ounce of energy to get that spa ready for you when you get home. And by the time you get home or want it on, and then building a better mousetrap relative to the filter and the pump. And you do this and you bring this innovation to the field. Now you have a reason to go out and replace these things. You're giving Mrs. Smith a better filter. You're giving them a better pump. And it's going to be more efficient for them, and it's going to cost them less. So I think the collaboration between us three here is so important because we're asking service professionals to be better. We've got to bring them better product if we want them to be better.
100%. And I'm going to try to jump onto that without taking up 20 minutes worth of time because we're already past it. But I think this is a really good point you brought up, and I don't think we talk about it enough. The age of variable speed pumps was only really the time when we had a product that we can say, hey, look, I loved it and I embraced it. I wanted it because when we walked into the backyard, I remember back in the days, and I go, look, if there's a product on this equipment pad, I can't tell you how many pumps we sold back in the days is saying, hey, look, that I feel comfortable telling you that you should replace a working pump that has nothing wrong with it for this new pump, and here is the reason why, and why it's the best move for you and what it does for you, right? Quieter, more efficient. It's going to save you money. It's going to pay for itself and then start paying you back. You would be dumb, basically, not to buy it if you were physically capable, if you had the money to do it. It just didn't make sense not to go with it, right? And to be able to do it. And it was refreshing for us when you guys came out with your filters. And as my service company, what we do, and I'll share it to everybody else, and if everybody wants to listen to it or use it as a tool, we were very excited when it came down to the pipeline filters. One, because of what it was able to offer, how easy it was for us to be able to maintain them and use them, how easy we were able to use them. We saved time with tools. We didn't have to, filter cleans were much easier, right? It took less time, less tools, less frustration, less dangerous, and we saved, and we charged just as much for them to do the work. But I was able now to go to a pad, and I can go back, and I do this the same thing too. When I go back there and I go, look, it used to be the pump, right? Now the filter, you know, you can change out the filter. You should change out the filter, and here's the reason why you need to do that. And we have a practice where it goes every 2 years, no matter what, we have a list on there, and it says when we put old cartridges in, and in 2 years, it doesn't matter, we replace the cartridges. We need new cartridges. And we set it up where we talk to every one of our clients. Instead of buying new cartridges, we upgrade your filter system. Let's apply this money towards a new filter system, and let's get you this and why you should go with it. And then we use that as a benefit for us, and it helps everybody out. Same thing with heaters and Raypak. We use with the Avia and NITEC, right? And we have a lot of saltwater pools. And when you go Cooper Nickel, you lose a little bit of efficiency, right? When you go with the NITEC, you gain that little bit. And we're talking maybe 1% to whatever it may be, but over time, that costs money. This is actual value you add back to people, and you tell them, yeah, you might have had a heater that was running at 82% when it was brand new, but I guarantee you it's not 82% now. So if you explain these benefits and you're armed with one product that is innovative, right, and that can offer a benefit to our customer, and for a pool professional or as a business owner, now you give that option or you give that solution to them, and now you're able to provide something that will benefit them, and everybody's happy. So look, these are the things. And then when it comes to Airbnbs and with Poolside Tech, oh my God, we take care of so many Airbnbs. And I can't tell you how many times we have a problem. Or, for instance, like just having a friggin' remote control and a quick touch or whatever it may be, and the different things that we had to go through and all the trials and tribulations and the pain points we had with Airbnbs with people. It's like, how do I get them not to use the heater, John? You know what I mean? To sit there, you know what I mean? To make sure nobody uses the heater or whatever it may be. But now to be able to have the option and the solution to be able to have an automation that answers 99.9% of all the issues and problems we have as service providers that our clients have when they rent out their properties to people that use their pool. So again, the more of this, the better. And the moral of the story for anybody listening out there, look, we've always said this. We have our partners. We have respect for our partners. We're never ones to really sit down and like peddle products. That's not our thing. But when it is what it is what it is, right? And look, if there's another company out there or another one of the big three or another manufacturer that wants to come out with a product that's going to supersede or that's superior or better, by all means, we want this in the industry, right? And I promise you, Justin, Bob, Todd, and all their crews and everybody that work on their team and for their company, they invite that as well, right? Because it's giddy up, it's challenge on. We'll create something just as good or better down the road, and we all benefit from it as an industry. Thanks, guys, for coming down. Much appreciated for you guys. Again, being able to come out here, right? We got owners of the company. We got presidents of the company. You know what I mean? And then we finally got the man, the myth, the legend. You know what I mean? The superstar, Justin.
I actually had to call Stacy and say that nobody else could come by him.
Well, Justin's always busy, right? He's got a million things going, but it's awesome, you know what I mean, to have you guys come down here and to do this and to speak to the pros, right? You're not out there doing what every other vendor's doing. It's funny. I go by and Sarah's one of our biggest companies, you know what I mean, out in our area. And every time it's always outside, I always see a rep out there, right? Always there's reps that are just lining up. Who can they
circling like
and
the
it's
shark.
like, bro, you know what I mean? It's like, if I ever need to find this rep or that rep or whatever,
I know where to go.
I know where to go. You know what I mean? That's where they're at. And we're having you guys here talking to the pool pros, understanding that we are the lifeline of the industry. And if you want to build lasting change or make the biggest impact, this is where you need to have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
you need to come down.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Grassroots. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. It's always a pleasure to be able to talk to you guys and have some fun. And yesterday was a good time catching up with all the fun stuff that's going on and you guys have coming out, which you guys did not allow us to share with the new stuff that's coming out. We're not allowed to speak about it. We can't spill the tea. And Janie, you know I like to spill the tea, right? They're not letting me. They're like, nope, we can't tell you what else we're coming out with, other products and upgrades, and we're not allowed to know
Janie,
yet.
do you want to tell them? You want to tell them what's coming? Okay. She knows.
I'll say it.
So, anyways, hope you guys have a great weekend. Everybody out there, get out there, vote for the Pool Nation Awards. John and I will be back live next Wednesday on the Instagram Live. Have a great one, guys.
See
Take
ya.
care.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
David Jones, can I spill the tea? No, you cannot.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. Poolmanuniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at poolmanuniversity.com.